Welcome back to McCarthy Performance. This video is going to cover me getting ready to line bore a third generation Hemi block on the Tobin Arp flat top machine. Believe me, this didn't just fit on this machine. But anyways, we got some brackets made up for it, and we're able to get it lined up, and we'll work on this a little bit more and get it all dialed completely in before we obviously fire up the bar. I'd like to take a little time here and thank the 455 people that are watching me. I've gotten a lot of response on the last video that I made on the Sioux grinder. Now, I don't cover everything on these videos because I find that some of you guys get bored, and this is boring work, and you don't really watch them till the end. So, don't expect to see everything on this video, but please comment, and if you enjoy it, great, and if I could convince you to click on the channel and subscribe, that would be great. Don't know exactly where I'm going with these videos. I do a lot of fabrication work here occasionally, and I do a lot of engine building. I have a whole row of engines you don't see in the back. I'm going to probably be getting into doing some small block Chevrolets. It's really hard to say right now. I'm a one-man shop. And I think a lot of you guys know that Advanced Auto closed a lot of their machine shops, or most all their machine shops in the United States. And there was a big Advanced machine shop here in Bay City. And I'm not in Bay City, but I'm not too far. I'm in an area that's outside of Bay City. And, I've been getting a little bit more work. So for a one-man shop, I'm pretty busy. But there's some things that I'd like to do on the channel, and hopefully we'll be able to do them. I've got a couple 632s that I plan on building, and a 565 still, and a couple other big blocks. Through the workload as I do a lot of LS engines, and I do a fair amount of small blocks, some Fords, but myself personally, I've always been a big block guy, so I'm hoping we can do some more big blocks on the channel. So, bear with me. They're coming. I just don't know exactly when we'll be able to do some, but they are here, and we'll get to them when we can, because my workload is kind of increased. So thanks. So getting back to the Hemi, I had to make up a bunch of brackets because the Hemi's got where the lifter valley is, it's got a kind of a point to it, and that makes problems for setting the block on the fixture that I have. So I had to kind of come up with a plate here and a block, and then back here a plate, and then another place, and then I've only got one point here and one point in the front here, and that allows me to pivot. I call these the blades because originally that's all they were. So it allows me to pivot the block, and of course once you fasten it up here and here, it keeps the block from twisting, and there's really no reason the weight of the block and everything should hold it from going anywhere. I've got a jack under here and a jack under there that is helping with some of the weight of the block. I don't know how far I'll get on this video with this. There'll probably be a number 1 and a number 2 video, second video. This video is going to cover me doing a little bit of machine work on a intake plate for for a ZZ502 intake that we're making a plenum under it, and that's kind of a long story, but it's some machining. This probably isn't going to be you know, a very exciting video if you're looking to watch all of this get done in one shot. I don't know how far I'll get because it takes a long time for me to dial in one of these engines, and I like to let it settle a little bit so I know that everything is pretty much settled, and then I'll get to line boring it. But actually the setting up part of it is the longest amount of time. Once the bar is adjusted, it's pretty much a done deal at that point. Welcome back to McCarthy Performance. We are doing some main caps. We're doing a little bit of prep work on them. They are a powdered metal cap. They are like a razor, just for handling. You know, at least for handling, you don't want to cut your hand wide open on them. And it's a good idea to break the edges on them anyways, so nothing falls in the cap when it gets clamped onto the block. So we're going to lightly deburr them. So they're a little bit easier to handle. There's no high spots on them. Of course, we're going to face them, so we want the sides of the caps nice and clean and no burrs on them. So that's what we're going to do. I'm going to do them with an MX wheel, and they have quite a burr on them. This one's a junk one. We're going to replace that. I got the highs knocked off everything, so we'll start putting the caps on her. Okay, so we're cutting a little bit out of her right now, probably about 5 thousandths. We'll make it in 2 cuts. So I have my dial indicator on this because it's easier for me to read it this way, and I've got my pusher on there. So I'm going to push it down. I'm going to push it down 3. So we're going to push it down 3, and then I'm going to cut the first one. So there's 1, 2, 3. That should be pretty close. I'll cut it and I'll measure it with the dial bore gauge again. I didn't cut as much on the first pass as I thought I did. There's a little discrepancy between the original mic and this. There's absolutely no real feel on the original mic. It's really hard to tell. I've gone over this before. What I do is I dye the contact on the micrometer with a little bit of marker to see if it leaves a scratch on it. If it scratches through the marker, I know that the mic is pretty close, but the dial bore gauge is much more accurate. So that's what I usually finish up with. I go in on a rough cut with the original mic that come with the machine. That's pretty close, but I wouldn't say it's closer than 1 thousandths. So this is deadly close. So we'll get going on it. Well, we're finishing up on the number 5 main cap, the rest are all line board. It's not coming out too bad. Got a couple that are 2/10 tighter, but I'd rather have them 2/10 tighter. Well, there she is. I didn't want to drop it too much. Yeah, just a little tiny bit of shadow line, but nothing major. Everything's well within spec, and she cleaned up that one, that cap there, that was burnt. So it's all cleaned up. You know, for an old machine, it does a fairly decent job. I can't expect much more out of it. So, thanks for watching.